Wait, that channel still exists? Yeah, it didn't always seem like it, but rest assured, we are still here. Welcome to the Soft Skill channel. My name is Sebastian Jung and I welcome you to the channel update Spring 2024. Sorry, it's been quite a while since the last channel update. Not that much has happened for a while, but I think it's time to talk a bit again to have a new channel update. Let's start as usual with a quick look back at recent videos. There haven't been that many, especially on the English channel that received one less than the German. The last one here was the conjunction fallacy in February. No, not the last, the first. This was a new addition to our series on biases and fallacies. It was about time for that one to be continued, and of course, it will be continued further in the future. I've had some thoughts about that one, to be honest, because a recurring issue is that some biases and fallacies are rather similar to each other. For example, we discussed the conjunction fallacy. Some of you might know the so-called base rate neglect, which is very similar to that one, goes in a similar direction. So I've been wondering what is the best approach to covering all of them. I think I will for now continue as I have before by looking at each bias or fallacy separately, distinctly. But in the future, I might also do some kinds of compilations where I combine some that are similar and, for example, make a video about, let's say, biases and fallacies that influence the way we form opinions of something or in a similar situations. So I'd try to group them for a bit, I think. Anyway, the series on biases and fallacies will certainly be continued further. Now, recently we also had another book review about a German book by Schulz von Thun and others, Communication Psychology for Leadership. Unfortunately, this is once again a book that is not available in English, so it's not the kind of book review where you can afterwards get the book and read it if you are interested in it, but you can get some impression what it's about, what the content is, and so on. But since the Schulz von Thun series is rather popular on the English channel as well, I thought it would be nice to give you some insights into that book. I have tea instead of water today, therefore I have this cup instead of the usual glass. Let's talk a bit about the channel. This is the first channel update since I stopped the regular release schedule, since I stopped releasing videos in a fixed frequency. In the last channel update in fall last year, I already warned you that there would be fewer videos for a while. As it turned out, it were even fewer than I expected. Sorry for that. There are various reasons. I already discussed most of them in the previous channel update. Fall is always a time where we have a lot of work from our professional work, from our jobs. And we also have some vacation time near the end of the year. And in the past, we usually used this vacation time to catch up on the channel and make new videos and so on. But this time we actually took a vacation for a change and did no work whatsoever in that time, which was quite nice for a change. But as it turned out, this meant quite few videos for the channel in the last few months. And I also have to admit that my motivation had degraded a bit near the end of the regular release schedule. So after I stopped doing that, I was quite happy, for example, to be able to use the weekends as I saw fit and not have most of them already used up by the video recordings. And I also was glad that I could focus on my actual professional work a bit more. So that's also an aspect there. As I said last time, I'm pretty sure there will again be times and phases where we will see more videos, more frequent videos. However, I won't enforce that. So I won't say, oh, there have been so few videos lately. No, I really have to focus on the channel again, put more work into it. I won't enforce it like that, but I'm sure there will again be times where I have some more time at my hands and I can put more time into the channel. One topic that pops up now and again is the monetization of the channel. Quite a while back I promised to keep you updated on that, and I haven't forgotten. There just is not so much progress still. I've finished some of the bureaucratic work that is connected to it, some of the formalities, filled out some forms and dealt with some public agencies and so on. So I made some progress there. However, the next step is to deal with YouTube and Google, and however there I currently have the problem that due to fewer videos being released recently, our watch time for the last 12 months has dropped slightly below the mark that you need to achieve to be able to monetize the channel. You need 4,000 hours of watch time, and we now have 3,700 on the German channel. So this will take a while longer, and as usual, I will keep you updated. It's not a big issue or anything. It's not actually a lot of money that this is about. Recently I pushed this monetization a bit more because I was displeased by the fact that advertisements are shown in front of and in between my videos by YouTube, and I don't even benefit from them. This was not a situation I found very fair, so I pushed the monetization a bit, but it's not a big issue that it takes still a bit longer. Let's have a short preview for upcoming topics, and I'm afraid there isn't a lot I can discuss here. Recently I focused on finishing the video, the recent book review of Communication Psychology for Leadership, and I didn't put a lot of thought into planning ahead yet. As I said before, the series on biases and fallacies is sure to be continued, so I'm planning to create another video there. Apart from that, I have 1 or 2 books at hand that I might create videos for, but unfortunately those are once again German books without any English translation being available, so there might not be an English version of those. Apart from that, there is not a lot that is currently planned that I could announce yet. Now, if you have followed the channel for a while and been here for a while, you probably remember earlier channel updates where I always presented all of the upcoming topics, and usually they would be released exactly in the way and exactly in the order that I had announced before. So I planned ahead quite far in the past. The fact that this has changed a bit is part of the bigger change on the channel and the abolishment of the release schedule and so on. There were always two important sources for the topics I covered on the channel. First of all, there were always topics that I specifically selected because I thought they would fit the channel nicely, so I looked into them to create a video for the channel. And on the other hand, there were always topics that I looked into because they caught my own interest, and after looking into them I thought, oh well, this would also be a nice topic for the channel. I will create a video about that. And this is always an important part, because the basic idea of the channel always was, to a large degree, that I am personally interested in the topic of soft skills and I explore this topic and I take you along on this exploration and show you all the things that I discover. Now, both of those routes have diminished a bit lately, since I focus in my day-to-day life more on other things, more on my professional work lately. Don't put as much work into the channel as before. I don't usually look into topics just for the channel. And in regard to the topics I look into out of my personal interest, that has gone back a bit, because in the last few years I basically only read books about various soft skill topics, because I always had the channel in mind. And now, since I've abolished the regular release schedule, I've started reading more novels again for a change, because I hadn't done that for quite a while. And in regard to books about specific topics I've looked into recently, I selected a couple that were relevant to my professional work as a freelance trainer. So those topics often don't fit the channel well, so it wouldn't make sense to, for example, do book reviews for those. But of course, there will be more videos on the channel. The topics just still need to be decided upon. Well, that's it for today. I'm very happy that you still stick with us, even though there have been fewer videos lately. As I said before, there will surely come times with more videos again, and I think the ones we have released are still very nice, and I hope you enjoy them. See you again next time. For today, I'll take my leave. Have a nice day. See you next time.